Let's go! Episode 11.
Yeah.
Straight
I
into
can't believe we actually got to 11.
I mean, we're bound to get to somewhere, right?
Yeah, but most people give up by this point.
Actually, no. Most people give up by episode 12, statistically speaking.
You got one more of this.
Odds. All right, hit me with the Weasel news.
So Weasley news of today is we know about American, for example, LA, San Francisco, all those places, Seattle, Chicago becoming quite dangerous nowadays.
Right.
But Los Angeles found a solution. First image.
How can we help you?
So these are community ambassadors, people responsible for your safety, cleanliness in transit lines. These guys are supposed to make you feel safe
From what?
from attacks on the metro, is like our tube.
Bruv, none of them look like they can hold up in a fight.
Honestly, no. They are
I'm not
diverse.
even gonna lie. Like,
can't tell
bruv,
them.
like,
Like-
only guy that I maybe want to have back me is this Latino-looking dude and this Asian-looking dude.
Which one? The biggest one or?
The biggest one, the one that looks like Pumpkinhead, R.I.P. G, right?
Yeah.
I assume that he can fight because I don't know for what reason. And the Asian dude looks like he's about to, like a kung fu extra that's about to kick in.
Yeah, he does.
And then maybe
Yes.
this dude here is probably the only trained dude because he's actually looking slim, so he probably works out, or
Yeah.
just maybe one of those guys that cycles a lot. But
I'll say
yeah.
like a possible one is the second one from the right. Like he's the dark
dude.
horse.
That's a bit racist, right?
And since we're
Second one from the right is the dark horse.
oh,
What are you saying?
I mean third. Look at them in action. Look at them.
Wait, hold on. Is that the guy that I said that was willing to back me? We just let his hair grow out.
So he got ravaged with age. He's been on
2
the job
days
for a
in the
week.
job. He can't deal with the stress.
Look at the expression on the face giving directions. I'm assuming giving directions.
Or you get ready to backhand her, like slap her. Look, I've had enough of you. You keep talking back to me. Because she's not looking happy either. She's like, why don't you go back to where you came from? And he's like, listen, bitch. Oh.
Apparently, one of these dudes was filmed while there was a fight going on. He was just watching, not
See?
excitedly watching, as you would be.
Which one
He
was it?
was like, I think it was the Mexican dude.
The one that I said that I was hoping would back me.
Yeah, the pumping in head.
I feel very
Proper, like-
betrayed at my guess.
Proper awkwardly looking at whether to step in or not to step in.
Oh no, please stop. Oh no, do not stab him. Why isn't he listening to me?
Because let's be honest, the black guy is formerly mistaken for the dark horse, which is not the dark horse. I meant the guy next to him. But the black guy, he'd probably just let it play out and go, all right, I'll arrest the dude that's lost. So yeah,
Right.
feel safe.
While we're here, we like to remind people to sub, comment, like, and all of that because we normally forget. So I thought I'd get it in early this time. And I'm going to
Yes.
start with the episode of Screw You and Mr. I'm pissing on your window and there's nothing you could do about it. Yeah. Both of you, because like he came over to the crib on the weekend and then was basically just chatting about films and stuff, and he's like, oh, I watched this French film, it's mad, it starts off at the end and then it sort of works backwards and then that woman in the film gets violated, and I'm like, oh, we talked about this and now I have to watch it because I feel like I'm the only person that hasn't watched this film now. That being said, I like the film, and the Screw You is not for the film, is because it was like a legit film and I was thinking, you know what, this director must have other stuff. So I popped it off and he's got these 4 movies. And at this point I'm thinking, all right, let me watch them because they're like equally as rated. So I Stand Alone and Enter the Void and Climax are like 7.2, 7.3, 6.9.
After watching Irreversible, do you trust watch Climax?
Climax was the worst one. So,
It's what I-
and I don't mean in terms of what you would expecting. So the film itself is basically a bunch of dancers hired to do a dance scene, and then
Right.
in the process of it, they're just basically filming it. They've done filming it in some remote location up somewhere where they snowed in, so they can't really get out until the morning. So after the whole dance routine is done, the dance routine was pretty sick, to be fair. It was like a legit dance routine, and then they're just like kicking back, having drinks, smoking, whatever. And someone in the group spiked their punch bowl with LSD. And then at this point, everyone starts tripping out and starts going on a mad one. And then like, I think like based on the way that this director moves, he just likes to elongate stuff and just have violence for the sake of having violence and try to shock you. The joke part was one of the dancers had a kid with them, just like because she was working and had no one to whatever. So after she drank the drink, she got paras that everybody was gonna like violate the kid or do something bad to the kid. So she locked him in that room with the hazard, danger of electricity, whatever. So at this point, this kid starts screaming like, there's bugs here, let me out. She was like off her face. She forgot the key. So all you hear is like screaming like, and then the lights go out and the screaming stops. So obviously kid's done something with the electricity. And then obviously, because I think he ended up having some of the punch and that's why he started flipping out. Other than that, it was just violence for the sake of having violence because it's based on the true story. And then in the true story, they all realized that their drinks had been spiked with LSD. So they're like, what do we do? Just write it out. And they just chilled until the morning and called it a day, bro. And then next one that I on the list from working from the bottom up, I would say would be a standalone. It starts off like an interesting story where the guy's basically, he's like an orphan, and then from his dad dies during the war, he gets drafted, his mom abandons them, and then he's basically left to fend for himself.
Oh, so I'm assuming he was an orphan after his dad died, not before.
Yeah.
Because with French movies, I never know.
Well, it depends on how you started playing it. He then has a kid. I can't remember what happened to his wife, why he ended up having to look after her. And then he was running a butcher shop. He's looking after a girl. She's just now coming of age, so it's now her time. So she gets her first reds ever. So she's panicking. She doesn't know what to do. Like, I'm bleeding down there. What do I do? So she starts walking towards the butcher shop where this guy's working, and then sees some random guy like comes to help her. So she walks in distressed about this whole situation. He sees the blood. He thinks that the guy violated her, so he just basically just lashes out and violates the, like just bangs out the dude to the point where he ends up having to go prison. Obviously while he's in prison, he can't pay the mortgage, he can't look after the shop, so he ends up losing it all. She goes into foster care because the mum's not there. He ends up working at some bar. He just ends up being like an entitled dude, like, I used to own a butcher shop, I can't believe I'm working at a bar, blah blah blah. Ends up sleeping with the owner of the bar, getting her preggo. She ends up selling the bar for like bucks, so she's basically borderline retired. And there's your first sort of kind of hint towards the red pill, because once she's got the money now, she's basically talking down to him, forcing this guy to get a job. So he gets a job at a butcher's, but not like a butcher's that he used to own the shop. Like, you know, they have the supermarket just at the back of the thing. And then the guy tells him to smile and he refuses to smile and gets fired on the first day. Like, who is he to tell me to smile? Blah, blah, blah. And then obviously at this time, the wife and the mum just bugging him like, get a job, look at you being a waste man. So this guy flips out and just stomps her out while she's preggo, and then just starts stomping up the stomach like, you and this kid, screw you, screw this kid, the stuff. Like, he just lost the plot. So now he flees to his old town, wherever the hell he was from, trying to hide out, trying to see his old friends, trying to get some peace. While he was fleeing from the house, he ends up grabbing a gun. Gun's got like 3 bullets. He ends up going to his old supplier that used to supply him with meat when he was at the butcher's. Applies for a job. The guy's like, I can hire you, but you have to start next month. Obviously, this guy being entitled and like ragey starts flipping out. How dare this guy talk down to me? I'm going to show him when I get my thing. I'm going to just run up, follow him after work and just bam, bam, all up in his face, watch him, then bam, his wife, and then call it a day. He ends up in a bar, like still raging, has an argument with one of the dudes. I'll show him too. and like, the whole time you're thinking he's about to flip it. And then he's going on throughout the film, like, I'm about to flip. Like you're thinking he's ready to go because he's going to go, I'm going to gun this dude down, I'm going to gun his dad down, and I'm going to run up and gun the boss down, because he's only got 3 bullets at this point. Like literally only 3 bullets. He's got no peas for nothing. So he's got the first one for the bar guy, the shop owner of the bar, and then the guy who owns the factory, who hired him and gave him a job. Anyway, how dare you give me a job? You see what I'm saying, bro? So fast forward towards like the end of the film, he decides to go see his daughter before he goes on his killing spree, and then basically ends up. Oh, we should have really and truly started this whole thing with a spoiler alert, because I've just literally told you the whole film. But he ends up basically.
Okay, so hold on. I got this. Spoiler alert.
Nailed it. So then he basically ends up taking his daughter out, takes her back to the crib, and then it cuts to a scene where he just finished like clapping his daughter's cheeks, bro. And then he's like, I'm gonna have to put her out of her misery. So then he pops her in the neck. The director, being the director, likes to drag it out of her just bleeding up. Like, and then just for bare time, something like that, innit? And then he zooms in and then pops her like her head, and everything just splatters over her because obviously he likes to do violent stuff. He says, and the last one's for me. And he just sitting there not being able to pull the last one for himself, proper bitching out in the last minute. After that, it rewinds and it's a flashback. That's what he was thinking of doing. And he basically panicked himself out of doing it. And then the end of it was just like, I'm not going to do it, but this has given me a new lease of life. And I'm so glad that no one can come between me and my daughter. I don't know why they talk. And then he starts talking about forbidden love. So he was still planning on clapping her cheeks. And then that's how the film ends. So it was like interesting to watch, but meh.
Yeah.
And then Enter the Void, it was about two orphan kids who were in a car crash. That's how their parents died. They got split up. They were supposed to be looking after by their grandparents or their auntie or something. One of them sent the girl off somewhere and the boy stayed with the grand. He then goes up to become a drug dealer in Japan, basically stacking up peas to bring his sister over to be with him. He brings her over. She then becomes like a stripper at a strip club. Police find out that he's a drug dealer. They try to arrest him, try to catch him. He runs into the toilet, tries to flush the drugs. And like, it's mad because the whole thing is shot in POV, so you're looking at it like you're the guy going through everything. That's why I think that film was a bit different.
He got mad with the GoPro.
I don't know how old this was, to be fair. Does it say 2009? Did they have? I think GoPros were about back then, innit?
I think they were. I think that's when they started.
Yeah. And then from there, like he's proper trying to like flush the drugs in a panic, and like the way he filmed it, the panic made it real. The toilet was buzz, bro, and it wouldn't flush. And he's proper digging his hand into it because it's one of those, you know, those squatting ones. It's just a hole in the ground. Yeah. And he just and then he panics because they're about to kick the door. He's like, oh, I got a gun. So boom, they shoot him in the chest. Like he literally dies then and there, innit? And then the rest of the film is him as a spirit reliving his life, going through everything that brought him to that point, and then trying to find his place in the afterlife. And then eventually he goes back into the strip club where his sister's getting her cheeks clapped by her boyfriend. And then it ends up in a scenario where you ever see the scene in The Boys when Ant-Man whips it out? It ends like that, and then he basically reincarnates himself through his sister.
That's kind of crazy. Like, it makes me want to watch it, but knowing Irreversible, I'm like, do I really want to see it? Because it might change my life, not in a good way. I might never forget this movie.
Nah, it was a legit movie, bro. It was a legit movie. And the only thing that really irritated me about it is I found out towards the end that I had a track in English, and I watched it the whole thing in Italian, and I had to read subtitles. Which really, do you know what I mean? That's probably the only thing that got me. But other than that, it was a legit film. But again, was it worth the watch? Meh. And then Irreversible, I have a theory about that. Because this film is what, 2002?
Yeah.
So when you watched it, would have been bare time ago. What, uni days and stuff like that, yeah?
Yeah, uni days, yeah.
So you would have been less desensitized than you are now. So when I watched it, it wasn't as bad as you made it to be. So obviously, both of you seem to be dramatically scarred by this film because you talked about the scene went on for 20 minutes. And then he was like, it was going on forever. It was like a good half an hour. And then, so I had to Google it to see how long it is because I thought I had a cut version.
Yeah.
The whole thing is 9 minutes. It's still long, but...
Yeah, that's still a long time, but it's just,
Do you see what I mean? So back to my theory. The reason I think that you lot were scarred by it is because you would have been less desensitized. So if you watched it now, like the fire extinguisher scene, that's pretty much a Tarantino movie or stuff that you can watch on Netflix nowadays. The violation scene is just still a violation scene. I've never seen that anywhere else. You know what I mean?
That's like different levels of violations.
But this is the thing. So like in this amount of time since that thing, what have you watched since? You've seen Old Boy. That was a twisty film. And
that was a very twisty film.
Do you know that Old Boy is one of 3?
Yes, the Vengeance trilogy.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. So the sympathy of Mr. Vengeance when they're hacking the dude up with the axe.
Yeah, that one is crazy.
Do you see what I mean? You don't notice notice it because by the time you got around to watching it, you've seen enough messed up stuff.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Hostel, where the guy
That eye sticking out was stuck
That's
with
what
me.
I mean.
That's
Now that-
2005.
Is it 05? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bad one. Have you ever seen Gangster Number One?
Yeah.
That's the film that I would say had a similar effect that you did, because I recently watched it just to prove my theory. Because to me, that scene when he runs into the op's house and starts torturing him to death, that to me lasted forever. Because the way they filmed it is the guy was trying to defend himself in the POV while you're getting shanked up and punched up. You're thinking, this is never going to end, Rob. This guy just put him out of his misery. I need this to end.
That's true.
I watched it again recently just to test my theory. It was not as long. It's just because I just hasn't been desensitized to that point. I've got another one for you. Obviously, have you seen Itchy the Killer?
Yes, I have.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I see your point. That is a good theory. Also, Human Centipede.
I refuse to watch that. I just, because I know what it's about. Nah, I'm not going to do it.
Or Human Cent iPad.
That was a classic, bro. That's why you need to learn the terms and conditions.
Yes. Also proves that South Park has been on all of this stuff way before anyone else.
Way before. I think they had the same deal with the guy who does The Simpsons. That's why they can do predict the future.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Audition?
Yes.
The Japanese one?
Yeah, that is disturbing.
And then she hacks him with this little blade thing. She's like,
yeah.
And then saws his leg off.
Have you ever seen Man Behind the Sun? Old movie, though. This is an old movie.
How old are we talking about?
Like 80s, I think.
Am I going to be able to find it on
You should be able to.
high fees?
You should be able to.
See, this is what I'm saying. So after watching all of these films, going back to Irreversible, it didn't seem like that much of a messed up film as you made it. But breaking it down, apparently there's two versions of it. So there's the version that you watched, which starts off at the club, like runs backwards to the beginning of the thing, which is with her chilling at the park. And there's also the straight cut, which starts off with her chilling at the park and ends at the club.
Yeah.
I think the straight cut would be slightly better, but the original cut is what makes it actually sick. The reason I think the original cut is sick is because if you think about the way it played out, the whole thing, it was just a mad one. The first thing that you need to understand is when it goes back, first of all, let's address the RP content of it all. The guy that was out there being a Chad was in the same party as her, moving to other girls, while her ex, the blue pill beta guy, was just getting mugged off. And then it rewinds to the scene of them going to the party and like, oh, how come he can't make you boss? I've been trying, like I make the effort to do XYZ, and if we didn't go, remember, we would go at it for hours.
Yeah.
He's making an effort to please her and not able to do it, while the other guy is doing it for himself and she finds it appealing enough to the pleaser. But the words that stick out with me is sometimes what you need to understand is that women enjoy when guys get off. So when a guy is doing it for himself and just doesn't care about the woman, that's kind of a turn on. And then the tunnel scene happened. Yeah. The director's the bro.
He really is.
But here's what you missed out though, yeah? What sits uneasy with me, and that's why I liked it, is because if you actually watch it again, you'll see that the guy that got fire extinguisher at the end wasn't the guy in the tunnel.
Oh.
Yeah, he got away.
I don't remember that now. He got away for
free.
That's nuts.
That's what made the film sick for me. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Because when you watch it, yeah, you see the guy get fire extinguished. And obviously, yeah, the guy was being a dickhead to begin with. So he kind of deserved the fire extinguisher. He snapped the dude's arm and was trying to violate him in the middle of the club. Like, I'm gonna, in your, you hear me?
Yeah.
So then his boy come out and then fire extinguished his face to oblivion. But then you realize when you get to the actual scene, you're like, nah, this is a different guy.
Oh shit.
You didn't clock it, bro. Yeah. That's why I like the
I don't
original.
remember that. Yeah.
You're too traumatized by it.
I think I was too traumatized at the time. Going.
No, that was a mad one, but that was a mad one. That's why I had to watch all the others, because when I saw that and I was like, no, I was expecting all of his other films to be twisty like that as well. And then I ended up just watching a bunch of BS and wasting my time.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they're all kind of worth a watch, but I'd skip Climax. Climax was just dumb. It was just like violence for the sake of violence. There was not really a storyline.
And for those who don't like violence, I recommend The Incredible Bulk. Oh no, The Amazing Bulk. It's a story of an ambitious scientist who experiments with a serum designed to increase human muscle mass and prolong life. It's basically a knockoff of Incredible Hulk. The difference is he takes a serum when a thug steals his engagement ring, so he doesn't transform for
so low budget.
So he doesn't transform for like any heroic thing. He's just dude rubs from him. He's like, oh yeah,
I'll throw you. bro, this looks so low budget.
It really is.
This looks like
You know, right? You can kind of understand when in Transformer it looks low budget, but the scene with the guy in the city looks proper fake.
no, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. The artwork looks legit here. If I saw this, I'd be like, this looks like it could be a joke like thing. And then I see this and it looks like something that AI tried to design because you didn't type it in
The
properly.
rail tracks though. Look at the rail track.
Bro, this looks like one of those cartoons that they have on. Is this actual footage from the thing? Nah, so low budget. Wait, is there better than? Or is this? But I don't know what's going on. Oh, hold on. Did he have a feature in Sonic? He's part of the Sonic cinematic universe. What's going on here, bro? Sonic 3 is gonna be different.
This is the BCU bulk cinematic universe.
Oh, that's bad, bro.
The budget for the movie was $14,000. It was in like 2012, so that 14,000 is now probably $500,000. But you know, because of inflation, close enough.
The action figures look legit, bro. I swear
The
down.
action figures look better than the actual movie.
Yeah. Could they not just animate this?
Their heads was stop motioned it.
Can we play a video? Hold on, make sure it's muted. What is a trailer? Is this a new version? This looks low budget, bruv.
Yes.
This looks mad low budget. Is that the English comedian guy? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The pub landlord.
You see the chick, right? You see the expired chick, right? And there was a line drawn around her, but it wasn't even drawn around her. It's not even
Did I
close
miss
to the
it?
line.
Did I miss it? Where's this line at?
You know how like they draw the line around the body?
Yeah.
That's what she's like
Wow.
next to it.
Is this the whips that they're driving? It's so low budget. Hold on. We need to Google the cost of inflation because I swear down one of the sickest films ever made was on a budget, blood.
I know, like the first Desperado was on like mad cheap.
Yeah, El Mariachi.
Mariachi. Yeah, it was mad cheap. The way they were using the same van, in the movie over and over again.
He was saying, yeah, there you go. Production was 7.2K. That's it, bro.
What year
And
was that?
92.
What?
How does inflation factor
Today.
into that?
So today it's about 15.5K, basically. That's not even like close to any budget.
Did you know there's one season of a El Mariachi TV show that seemed to have 71
that?
episodes? 71
No.
episodes per season, bro. That's a stretch. They're doing it on some anime Bleach and Naruto.
That's
I don't
crazy,
even,
though.
how can you even watch that, bro? 2000, you're not finding that anywhere. Is that even available online?
I doubt it.
Nope. Doesn't, because normally it gives you the little option of YouTube, whatever. This probably doesn't even exist, bro. And it's probably going to be in Spanish, which is going to be annoying, to be fair. Wait, it says ongoing. So what's going on? Season 1, episode 70. Ooh. Hold on. Can I watch this here? Oh, no, they're still going. Season 1, episode 114. They're trying to catch up to One Piece out here, bro.
Oh, that's like one of them Brazilian telenovelas. That's like
It just goes on and on. Can I watch it, bro? How do I watch this? I just want to watch this. Just like an episode.
which kind of I'll save it for the next one, I think.
Yeah, I think we're running on time. Let's wrap this episode up and call it a day. Bribe, all of that, call it.